If you did color all of these fruits and vegetables and food that we did in the story of the Very Hungry Caterpillar last week, then you are ready to cut and put them on paper plates, because that's what we're going to do today. So the Very Hungry Caterpillar was the story that we read from Eric Carle, and we read it in Spanish. So this is about continuing with what we had started last week. Every one of the fruits and food in the story has a dotted line. So you're going to take your scissor and start cutting on the dotted lines to make sure that you are cutting these fruits. So I already cut the apple for the first one, and I'm going to cut the second one, which is the pear, and I'm going to start gluing them as I continue to cut, because this is going to take you a little while to paste, because it's a lot of food. So what I'm going to do is bring out a paper plate. Now the paper plate, the way you're going to put it on the table is not the way you serve your food, but upside down, because you're going to use this edge to put the fruits. So I'm going to start with the apple, and I'm taking my glue to paste on this apple. Now you're going to say, okay, so why are we doing this again, Mr. Rodriguez? Because we're going to retell the story of the Very Hungry Caterpillar. So what you're going to do is paste it on the edge of the plate. And the reason why is because we're going to cut in the middle of this, okay? We're not going to do it now because we have to wait for this to dry, but that's what the intent is. So you're going to do the same thing with the pears. You're going to put some glue on the pears, and since on Monday he ate an apple, but Tuesday he ate through 2 pears, you have to put the pears together, because what he did in the story was eat 2 pears. Okay, and that's very important, because you're trying to remember what's the order of sequence of the story. So this prop is going to help you remember the order in which the story started. So now we have the pears. Now we're going to continue cutting the plums and the strawberries. And the reason why I'm going through this is for you to know what to do when you have to do it. Your plums should be all the same color, and the same thing goes with all the other fruits and vegetables. If you are coloring them in colors that they're not, like blue and black and brown, I don't know what is it that you are doing, because you need to listen to the teacher. I would understand if your apple is red or green or yellow, but I will not understand if your plums are black. I will not understand if your pears are in yellow or blue, because there are pears in brown, there are pears in green, but I have not seen anything else. Like if I see a strawberry in a color that I've never seen, like black, I'm going to say, what happened here? And usually is because your imagination starts flying, and we're not doing imagination, we're doing retelling the story. So retelling the story is trying to fit accurately as close as possible of what the story was. Now, if Eric Carle decided to make all these rainbow colors in the food, then that would have been okay. But I don't think he was thinking of that. I think he was thinking of making a story that had accurate colors that you wanted to do. So now I'm going to put my purple plums, because I have not seen plums in another color but purple. And I'm going to put them where? On the edge of the plate. And the reason is I'm cutting the middle of the plate. Alright, so I got 1, here goes 2, and here goes 3. Okay, and so there you go. That is for the plums. Now I'm going to do the strawberries. Strawberries were 4. He ate through 4 strawberries. Strawberries come in red when they're ready to eat. Okay, and it looks like this. And we're going to continue with the 3rd strawberry. And of course, the last but not least, the 4th strawberry. This is what happened on Thursday. Wednesday was the plum. Thursday was the strawberries. Okay? And so that is how it's supposed to look like. Now we're going to continue with our 5 oranges. But unfortunately, we only have 2 oranges here. So we have to start here and finish on the next sheet of paper. It's very important that you start cutting correctly on the dotted lines and you take your time to do this project, because this is for you to learn how to retell the story of the very hungry caterpillar. Okay? These oranges are sweet and ripe. Sometimes juicy. But the next task will be to cut the rest of the food. But before we do that, let's do the 5 oranges. Okay, so my 5 oranges are here. Oops, put it on the wrong side. I have glue on the other side of my orange. That's okay, because I can fix this. I need some glue anyway here for this orange. So that'll work. I have 3 oranges. Now, I'm going to put my fourth orange. Okay. And number 5. Okay. I'm going to let this dry like the rest of the fruits because I already have 5 plates. Now we're going to cut all of these because all of these belong to the story. I have to start with the watermelon because the watermelon is the last thing he eats before he gets a tummy ache. I have to put my blue cupcake, which I'm calling it blueberry. See, that's where you can justify what you did. Then I'm going to put my sausage. Sausages are red. Then I'm going to put my cherry pie. Okay. And you're always going in circles on the dotted line of this paper. Then we're going to put the lollipop. I like my lollipop yellow. Then we're going to the salami. Okay, because we're getting closer to all the food that they ate. Then I'm going to the cheese, or Swiss cheese, because this is not any kind of cheese. This is Swiss cheese. Okay. Then we go to the pickle, which is a cucumber with vinegar. That's what it is. The ice cream, can't forget that. And last but not least, on the other sheet is the cake. I made, instead of a chocolate cake, a vanilla and chocolate cake. I didn't realize it was chocolate until I read the story, so I did put the chocolate though. And of course we're going to cut our leaf because that is the part that makes him feel better the next Sunday. Okay, and this one has a hole in the middle because that's where you're going to make the hole fit for your plate. You do not cut the stem. You see, I am not cutting the stem. I'm cutting around it because I need my stem. Okay? And that's how we get this done. Now, let's try to get this all together. We start with the cake. Okay. Cake always goes with ice cream. Doesn't have to be in the order in which the story put them in, as long as you have them there. That's what really is important. I have a pickle. Alright. I have the Swiss cheese. And you will continue in the next video. Alright. because we're going to run out of time in a few seconds. We just did. So this is going to be part 2, and the next one will be part 3. So this is how it's gonna go when you finish doing it. Yeah, I'm trying to hurry up. So, we got 2 more pieces to go. Remember, that smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get. Alright, and that's how you finish this part of the gluing. Remember, smart is not something you are. Smart is something you get.